Short table, Hiroto stepping around. I expect to see a lot of step-arounds from our left-handed players out here. Adapting incredibly well on both of those on receive to take both points. Yesterday, righty-lefty combo, much easier to share the space.
Yeah, one of those is much easier shared.
Probably much longer, but on TV for a decade.
Yeah, it really looked like it was going to be one of the best weeks of his career, didn't it, Adam? He's been on top form here in Doha.
Every 6 points, it's a 2-point ball game now. Again, trying to avoid that forehand. Just anything that Gao Chungrui can reach is dangerous. So they're just trying to make it uncomfortable for him any way possible, but he's been so adaptable. And a good spin.
Team, but credits to their defensive abilities.
It was an interesting choice to go so inside out, to put so much side spin on it. As the ball arcs up, you need less top spin to put it down. So out of the towel break, they've done well, Lin and Gao. Trailing by 1 here on their serve. You will see cryptic signaling with the hands so that the opponents can't know what's coming. Yet the pairs are both in sync on the same page.
And behind can't see, just in case they might signal to their players what they saw.
Plants in the building. Good pressure, incredibly smooth, and both of the right-handers work so hard. Bit of extra spin on the opener, and then the flatter shot from Gao Chungrui to finish.
Once again, set up by that Lin Wenru backhand flick to create an advantage for them at the table.
Any changes that you've noticed from the pair in purple to level out the playing field between towel breaks?
I think they're not afraid to serve that little bit longer. We haven't seen so many Shinazuka backhand flicks that we also have seen as they've progressed through this doubles competition.
Oh, the short side. I thought the receive was enough to finish it. Gao Chungrui had other plans.
And of course, as soon as I say we haven't seen many backhand flicks from Shinazuka, we see a flyer.
Oh, what a race, and that's right on the line. To get the ball is one thing, but to play it dangerously, this is guts right there. And the touch play as well, Yodza's got it all. From the power and the guts, the pulp within the pomelo. This time, plays it soft, and that's what earns Lin Wenru this finishing shot. On 1 foot, Lin Wenru has to get under the table to put that away.
How many times this week have we spoken about it, Adam? But Lin Wenru, that ball that pops up just short and high in your forehand, looks like an easy one from you sitting at home or for us here watching the screen. But it's one of the most difficult balls in table tennis.
Now heavy rotation as well, constantly mixing it up. Momentum heavily in favor of the pair in purple, Lin Wenru and Gao Chungrui. Look how much he was lifting. It was almost as if he was playing a chop. 7 of the last 8 points for the Chinese Taipei teams, pair in purple. And the change of pace on the parallel sets up 4 game points in this best of 5. 2013, they were world champions, the Chinese Taipei team. Zhuang Zhiyuan, Zheng Jianan, and Shunsuke Togami warned to play. Something's going on here. Hope he's okay.
I think he just took a hit from Shinazuka there as he was trying to play that forehand. Not 100% sure.
I thought it was a warning. It sounded like it was just checking in. Heng Yangling saying, "You okay? Is the racket okay? Everything okay? Most importantly, are you okay?" Extra spin from behind the table. It's Gao.
Force the ball directly back where it's just come from. Make it difficult.
Teammate, and right there, perfectly half-long serve, getting a little hesitation on the other side. Oh, slow and spinny from Lin Ru, and a perfectly calibrated shot, closed racket using the length of the table for the drive.
No signs of a problem in the wrist there. Togami finishing that one nicely.
Can't ask for a better shot than this. Tape or no tape. Fist bump will be with the left hand from now on, though.
Yeah, good placement on that backhand down the line from Togami. Keeping it close to Lin Ru, forcing Gao Chungrui. You'll see it here. They have to manage the space. And that's always so often the case in doubles, that's what tips it in favor of one side or the other.
Oh, perfect placement again, looking to the wide backhand of Gao Chungrui. Now, since the second towel break of last game, the pair in purple scored every point for the rest of the game, but so far it's the exact opposite here to start off the second. The Japanese pair with a wonderful turnaround to start game two. Clever, way shallower on the table. He takes his time recognizing, Lin Ru does, that the serve's gonna come long and spins it shallow.
We saw so much of that yesterday against the LeBruns. They managed the space incredibly well, not only moving around each other, but also how they played in terms of depth on the table, really changing it between long and short on those spin balls.
His tactic feels very similar to that we saw. But agility again, Gao Chungrui able to lean out of the way to play the forehand from right in on the body. The pressure back and forth here. That's what started it. Even at this level, with a high ball, hitting it right at the elbow is often the best shot.
6-2.
This for me is a very important moment.
On concentration now.
7-2.
How much there is on each side. There's been a lot of drama for both sides. Just too good. Footwork and the force to follow. Everybody contributed in this rally. Man, the brain must be spinning from Morizono right now in the coach's corner.
Just look at this finisher from Togami, how he regains control at the table and turns his whole body into that forehand.
This is time. This is fast footwork, staying close to the table, paying off. And a step around with a bit of net on it, but Hiroto Shinozuka. A change of pace here from the pair in purple. I'll be curious to see how they adapt. Gao Chungrui has found himself behind the table making some incredible shots, but the Japanese pair has had a suffocating speed that's been so effective this game. Slow. Have someone who's played this exact match, a final anyway, in the men's doubles at the World Championships. Nice to have someone like that in your corner. Still 5 game points left. 1 or 2 more and you feel that a timeout is absolutely necessary for the Japanese pair, but they'd like to keep it because this match could go the distance. And there it is, they escape.
11-5. Le4.
So Gao Chungrui will start off with the serves here. We're back to the playing order that favored this pair. Game number 1, they alternate order of play every game. Good power on the parallel as Shinozuka turns similar to the first point of the match.
Great start for the Japanese pairing. That's exactly how they'll want this game 3 to kick off. with them in control, them attacking.
You mentioned longer serves earlier on to shut down backhand receives. Do you think that they're trying to avoid Shinozuka really, or rather Togami, stepping across on the receive? Is he's going to depend on his forehand a little more?
I think either side of the table, really, they don't want their opponents playing with that backhand flick. They don't want the right-hander stepping across and playing dangerous flicks, and they don't want the left-hander starting the point with that spinny flick that they're both so good at.
2-1.
But there is risk involved with that. If you serve that little bit longer, if it's too long, your opponent can come in with really strong forehand. So it's always on a knife edge.
Well, it was just what you described, and some fast footwork made for a spinny shot from behind the table on the receive. Gao Chungrui has been able to play flat shots and incredibly spinny shots. So versatile, it's tough to predict. Oh, beautiful receive. Shinozuka gets the backhand in over the table on the receive, taking advantage of that extra wrist action.
And that's the one, no matter how good you are, it's extremely difficult to get there in time. You've got to wait to see which direction he's going. But if he plays that bullet train flick cross court, nobody's getting there.
On the parallel from behind the table, Gao Chungrui playing some high risk. This fine balance of touch play, and when they get into the open rallies, it just requires so much skill in every department at this level to secure a victory, even for 1 point. A lot of conversation here between points. Both sides taking their time out of this first towel break. Oh, that flick. Taking a chance here. Gao Chungrui's made an incredibly high percentage of a lot of low percentage shots.
Yeah, we haven't seen many of those strong forehand flicks. You've got to get that exactly right, or you're offering your opponent a great chance to attack. And he did exactly that.
A step around for the Chiquita here inside. Much better start than in game number 1 for the Chinese Taipei team. Man, where's that going to go in the replay? Because we've switched camera angles. I frankly can't remember, and I also can't tell. It's so well disguised. It's just the last minute, the wrist. And a surprising deep push. He comes in all gentlemanly there, looking like he's going to tap it softly, and then right to the baseline in the backhand. Good disguise. What do you think the Japanese pair is going to have to do to level the playing field here?
I think they have to find a way to deal with. We've seen a lot of that short now from the Chinese Taipei pair. They've gone back to playing short on the receive, not so many flicks. And then at the odd time, they're going for that deep and fast long receive like we just saw. But for me, I think the Japanese need to be a little bit quicker to get into the table and try to take the advantage themselves. They need to be the ones playing those soft hands and then long push or deep flick.
Yeah, take a bit of initiative, control here, some decisions that really get them the quality opening. After all, game number 2, where they were quite dominant, up 10-2, they were near the table for most of that success. Another good long push. The long push. Amazing.
The new most dangerous shot in the game. Whoever thought it?
I was just thinking, I was just imagining someone animating a piece of art on a wall where it's got long hair and dark glasses on inside, and it says "The Long Push." The step around, Lin Yunru slides so fast. This is a guy who's put on about 20 pounds of muscle since I played with him in Elon. And look at him now. Able to put on the pressure even when it's in an uncomfortable position. Oh man, the passion, Wang Yici. Jing Li Hai. 6 of the last 8 of the Chinese Taipei teams, Lin Yunru and Gao Chengray. Slow and spinny, slides across and uses the shallow parts of the table. The most dominant score line we've seen since last game where the Japanese pair was up 10-2. Not over yet. 4-9 actually. Shunsuke Togami was on the receiving end of a very memorable comeback from Wang Chuqin at the World Champs in 2022 in Chengdu. Again, slow and spinny. There was no panic. There was just recognition that maybe the opponents would be in a panic situation and just making them sit in it and readjust the feet. 6 game points now for the pair in purple. Beautiful drive inside. Good footwork to move in and take that.
And nice serve as well. Just forcing Gao Chengray to pop that receive up, offering an opportunity to the Japanese pair, but maybe too late.
Good placement on that inside-out forehand from Togami.
Maybe it's not too late.
As long as they're keeping score, there's still a chance. Never give up attitude. We've seen it, even if it caused incredibly high heart rates around the world yesterday with Brazil and China. Of course, Ugo and Liang Jingqun, but here, both pairs no drama. Wow, the get from Lin Yunru in this rally keeps it on for one more, but the Japanese pair stay close to the table.
It's great control of the table from the Japanese pairing. Look how far they forced them back.
The backhand seemed to be a big part of the conversation as well, but let's see what they do. They've got 3 game points left and a second serve here. Crucial time. Secure it. They've cashed in the timeout. The lifeline does not go to waste. Wang Yici and the pair in purple together put on an incredible show after that conversation. Boy, were they tested here, Gavin.
Lin Yunru does this every time, Adam. When the pressure's on, when they need him to step up, he captains this doubles team. Comes up with the goods. What a forehand finish.
Top side spin to send it right back to where it came from. Who's fighting this fight? 1961. That's crazy.
We weren't around then, Adam, to see, that's for sure.
Speak for yourself. No, okay. I just checked, actually, did a little math, and you're right.
One love.
So good start here. The Japanese pair has had no trouble getting a good start. It's been the finish. Quality spin on the opening, the placement just right. Half stroke, awkward opening. Backhand, gotta love it.
Lin Yunru again stepping up with that trademark backhand.
I think we have to remember, Japan's been a major global powerhouse for table tennis. Not so many nations around the world have statues of their local players. Oh, the finisher, Togami on top of the bounce. You could hear the grunts back and forth and testing the footwork, sending it wide for the win.
I didn't even see Togami coming there with that finisher.
You never really do, and that's what makes him so dangerous. Look at the side swipe on this, the timing, the bend on that ball. It just keeps getting farther and farther out of reach to the backhand of Gao Chungrui. Soft hands and a net recovery. Lin Yunru ties it up.
So difficult, that one, when the net just changed the trajectory of everything, changes the spin on the ball.
Happy to see the wrist is doing well, though. No problem since that medical timeout for Togami.
Lovely, slow and high spin up, a great variation, a great change of pace from Lin Yunru.
Fine balance of relax, stay close to the table, but fight.
Leg 2, 3.
This is a wonderful serve, especially to a player who doesn't open. A player who usually does open, but it was so well placed that Lin Yunru couldn't get the Chiquita in, had to backpedal and play the push.
We often see that as well, players serving with more straight spin. They don't use the side spin because Lin Yunru can use that to his advantage, come around the side of the ball. So they try to serve straight rather than giving him an angle.
Just under spin, not tainted with any other side. 3 points apiece, a familiar score line from last game. The touch. How many points have we seen where Gao Chungrui has touched the ball and won a point, but he's also shown us power throughout, the versatility from the youngest on court. Much needed point right now. A bit of mojo for the Japanese pair to stay level in what is a must-win game. The only way they can take this title is in the decider, and it starts here in game 4. Bit of extra juice on it to start, close to the table from Shinozuka, and the silent assassin from behind. Again, he's got way more power than he did a few years ago. I just feel like everyone at the table has improved leaps and bounds in the last few years. The idea is right, the table not long enough. We've seen a lot of long pushes. Remember, that is the MVP this match, the long push.
He's also so good at looking like he's going to touch it short and then changing to long push. Unfortunate that it didn't go on the table for him that time.
Yeah, the deception pays off in a game where everybody's so fast out here. The less clue you can leave, the less time they have to prepare. Japanese pair doing well out of this timeout to be up by 2 now. Full stroke forehand down the line. Just a reminder, we're looking at the 6th seeds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th against the 2nd seeds, and it was the 6th that knocked out the world #1, the top seeds, the LeBron brothers. 1 point game, no timeouts left, no lifelines. It's all up to the players here. What a recovery push, the angle as wide as can be. Lin Yunru spills out. Now, as long as the free hand does not touch the table, the body can. No problem. The arm attached to the racket, that's all part of it. If you need to, you can jump on the table if you don't move the table and you don't touch it with the free hand. Right now, just drying their hands on the table, despite the fact that it is a towel break. You tend to see players drying their hands between towel breaks on the table when they can't go to the towel. arcing spin and the turnaround. Togami has done wonderfully to get on top of this and drive it with speed.
Great take from Togami there, just taking the ball right at its peak from the Lin Wenru backhand flick.
Even a little bit after it appears in this replay, which makes it that much more impressive. Tough shot to stay on top of. Taking their time now, my goodness.
Very interesting that when you saw Togami signal what serve he wanted, but Shinazoku had other ideas and it paid right off that time.
Yeah, it is always peculiar when there's conversation and someone says, you know what? I'm not trying to make you feel rejected right now, but I've got an alternate idea that you might want to consider. What do you think about this? Then the signal comes out and you win a point. 6 serving 8. Oh, out of reach, the finisher.
6-9.
There's such fast footwork, but also awareness of the opponents and anticipation. Keep your eyes on Togami in this. 2 full steps. As soon as the ball is about to be contacted, he's already making his move for this inside-out forehand. 6 of the last 8 points for the pair that called the timeout, Togami and Shinozuka. And another break off the net, this time not a chance to recover, and it sets up 4 game points to send us to the decider. Nice time for an IOU for the pair in purple. Again in a best of 5. A little bit less time for Table Tennis Karma, TTK, to really level the playing field. Straight back into the body. Reassuring come to say to the Japanese team, I mean it, genuinely, we've got this.
5th game. Gao to serve. Level.
You need that level of calm and relaxed approach from your coach moving into this. All 4 players right now will be feeling nerves, but it's a calming presence in the corner that you need.
Gao Chungrui to start it off, the youngest on court, who's been quite starring. Heavy spin with the arm behind the head here. Again, a quadri-aruna-like forehand, Ma Lin-like in many ways. Just watch the shoulder of Gao Chungrui. Look at that, turns his body completely sideways to invest in the spin, and it pays off. Now a reminder, order of play, they will switch. The pair in purple has won this order of play every time. So when one pair gets to 5 points, they'll switch sides of the table and order of play, which means that Gao Chungrui and Lin Wenru really want to capitalize on the first 5. Get as big of a lead as they can at the table switch. Very uncomfortable ball deep into the backhand, side and topspin, and some fortune there, whatever it was from the Japanese pair, they acknowledge it.
No flash, please.
Super angle on that Shinazuka forehand, curving right out wide, almost into the sides of the court.
Oh, the drill again, the forehand. Shinozuka, as smooth as can be, has used side and top spin together to pair up for this winner.
Twice in a row, he's found the chance to play that forehand, and look how wide it is.
I know you were watching some Shinozuka just before this match. Does he get better as it gets deeper into the match?
I think that's a sign of a top player, isn't it, Adam, when they raise their level in these moments. Not only is it 2-2 in the decider, it's 2-2 in the decider for the gold medal.
Long push, but a nice response for the silent assassin. Lin Wenru using the backhand from the backhand corner to keep it tight. Gets a lot of twist on that, the whole body into that backhand. It's not just the arm, it's from the ground. The feet is where it starts. This is a nice adjustment here to the long push. This time the Japanese pair had a good response, were well prepared and take the opening well.
Always love listening to the scrambling of the feet, Adam, when they're trying to play those short rallies. How many steps they take just to be ready for that long push that comes out to their bodies.
And look at the momentum here for the Japanese pair. 12 of the last 16 points. It's a big sample pool of points, and in a best of 5, it's a crucial moment. I mentioned the Chinese Taipei team needs to have the biggest lead possible to take advantage of this order of play. And right now, it's the Japanese pair that's taking back the time. What a shot! Gao Chungrui on the move. It's not the first time we've seen him just racing to the ball, where even a fishing shot or a lob would have been impressive, but he counters it to the short side for the win. On the line, dangerous. One-point ball game as the pressure continues to build. Heavy spin. Togami's backhand. This is a shot on the parallel that hasn't come into play very much.
Great open. You saw there, Lin Wenru was already making his way over towards the forehand. So a great change from Togami to go down the line. That's a high-risk shot to play at this late stage.
So they switch sides of the table and order of play. Whenever they've played in this order, the Japanese pair has won 11-5 and 11-6. So right now they're in a wonderful position. And they lock in.
You know the script has gone out the window, Adam. Come on.
Players play on 3-5.
Big response here in the first point since the switch. The punch on the backhand side. Remember, no timeouts left.
That's normally where we see Gao Chungrui right up at the table, pressing with his backhand. Forced back by the Japanese pair that time.
A taste of his own medicine with that punch, some versatility from Shunsuke Togami. Yellow card here for time wasting for Shinozuka.
3-6.
Togami just making sure he's clear. He said, "Is it for us?" She said, "Yes." He wanted to make sure he knows what it is so that he doesn't double it up, because if there's another yellow card, it's a yellow-red, and it costs them a point. It's a point for the opponent. Forehand flick inside the table. It's a difference. It's either going to be 12 years or 64 years, but history is made here today for both of these sides. 12 years ago, the Chinese Taipei team took this title, 2013. 64 years ago, the Japanese men. We are watching history. We just don't know which way it's going to go. History in the making continues making itself. The step around. What confidence on this one-shot put away.
Over the course of the week, Adam, this is exactly the moment. They're down, the Chinese Taipei pair, and Lin Wenru steps up to the plate yet again.
The veins in the neck. Wang Yizi has been working with Lin Wenru for a little bit of time now and has done wonders alongside him. What a cover. Togami's been so adaptable on the move. It's incredibly impressive. It's tough to single out anyone right now. It feels like all four of them are superheroes in this match.
Yeah, and that's a great scramble with the angle there from Togami's block. The ball was coming to him extremely quickly. He managed to get his racket out in front of him quickly.
2 points in front, the Japanese pair as they dry their hands to receive. Still signaling what they plan to receive. Wow, commitment, and it's Togami once again finding the angle from right on top of the table. This is where speed really comes into play.
Yeah, Togami has taken this up a level in the late stages here. We talked about Lin Wenru, we talked about Shinazuka stepping it up, but it's Togami right now.
That silent shake, the emotion. We've seen it all week in the most important, crucial moments so far. Morizono, no stranger to that passion out here. What a receive. Full commitment on this one, and the put away, a 4-point lead, the biggest lead this game, 2 points away from taking the title. Togami with that tucked backhand gets so much wrist.
Honestly, does Togami remember that this is a World Championships final? He's playing with no fear.
And the serves back on the Japanese side. They set up championship point, 1961. Pull out your paper calendars. You'd have to flip a lot of fingertips. The Iran Cup awaits for one of these two pairs. And the Japanese pair has their toes, all 20 of them, on the finish line right now. Saved here, right to the baseline. I saw a finger up from the silent assassin, maybe the back edge to save a championship point.
I think it was, Adam, just clipped the edge on its way around. But they won't mind, they need everything right now to come back.
Serves back with the Chinese Taipei team. Gao Chungrui with the serve. Nippon! Japan does it! 64 years later, Japan takes the title. We have world champions. Shunsuke Togami and Hiroto Shinozuka have taken it back to the land of the rising sun. Japan, what a week and what a performance from these two. Congratulations to a very impressive